Well, I'm Red Beard the Hippy here with PKP, or the Phil Koubek Project.
Well, we'll call it Koubek, but
Koubek.
It's been pronounced many different ways, but Koubek is the
Well, now I know for future videos.
That's okay.
With the Mr. Linux Man and the Help Wanted, because their other two members are not here, so they have a fill-in.
Mr. Linux.
So let's go with some stupid generic questions. What style of music do you guys do?
We call it our dirty, sexy, groovy rock and roll. That's our motto. That's what we like to do.
You can definitely see that.
Yeah, it's just, it's that classic rock and roll. We grew up on, in the 70s and 80s. It kind of comes out naturally. So
yeah, just look at us. Just looking at us, it's like dirty, sexy.
Yeah, I mean.
Or when you said the 70s and the 80s, you kind of also showed age there too.
Right.
But you caught all the good bands when they were actually good.
Yeah, I actually wish I was 10 years older because I could have seen all those bands.
Yeah. Experienced all those guys' concerts.
Yeah, like Guns N' Roses is still touring and they still sound all right.
Right.
Or like
I saw them back in the day.
Motley.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, don't get in that.
Or like Motley Crue, when you could actually understand him.
Right.
And he didn't sound like he was breathing heavily.
When he didn't have the whole crowd singing all the lyrics.
Man, Steve! Oh, so no! On the TV here! Kick the heart!
You're gonna have to cut this part out.
Yeah, yeah, we don't want passion on it.
That's not funny. It's all over the internet anyways. There's enough live videos of them not using backing tracks.
No, Vince was a monster back in the day, and sure, he's struggling a little bit now, but still, it's that nostalgia that of seeing that show and being able to re-experience your favorite songs. They may not sound as great, but I went and saw Kiss on their farewell.
Which one?
And this last one, it was right before COVID hit.
Oh, okay.
That's End of the Road. Farewell was in
the end
2000.
of the. Well, okay, that's true.
That's well. They've also had like
technically
5 or 6 farewell tours too. So
yeah, but Paul sings to a backing track, and you can tell that he's singing to a backing track because his voice isn't as strong anymore. I'm not a huge fan of that, but
50 years of doing it or 40 years of doing it,
takes
you're
a toll.
not.
The guys are in their 70s.
I'm pretty sure Mick Jagger still uses some backing tracks or some stuff like that.
I don't know, man. He's a monster. I don't know if the Rolling Stones will never die. They'll be around forever.
Well, they got Keith Richards, so I mean that pretty well sums it up.
Rats and cockroaches and Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Trying to find where the fucking pot is.
Yeah.
And let's see, you're obviously Help Wanted because your other two members are not here, but from the understanding, they're not very talkative.
You're gonna Photoshop them in. Yeah, it was kind of funny when Troy joined the band and he kind of met Adam and everything. He's like, you can't be the quiet one. I'm always the quiet one. So now they're fighting over which one's the quiet one.
Who's the quietest one? Who can dip out the fastest? Like, I won this one.
Yeah, it's all right because Phil and I have enough mouth for
that. Yeah,
that's why they give both of you guys microphones.
Well, and that's why when we're introducing the band, we kind of give them a little boost. Adam's shy. Here's our shy, don't let him fool you type thing.
Silent storm.
I think every band has that one member that's just shy and quiet and stays off to themselves, or.
I tell you, they're coming out of their shells a little bit though. You're starting to see them really, getting into the show.
Well, Adam started moving a little bit more.
Yeah.
From the pictures that I remember last year versus this one, you can see like more facial reaction, more getting into it versus just kind of standing there.
Yeah, the first show, I don't think he even moved. I think he was in one spot, playing his guitar. And now he's making tracks and he's actually grooving, and yeah, it's great. And Troy's bouncing around the stage and doing
that's always the cool
too.
thing of seeing a band like a year ago or 2 years ago and then seeing where they're at now and being like, hey, I noticed this and I noticed this, and versus like the people that come to every show, like listening to John go, "You guys had a great set." Well, pretty sure you would know, but he'd also call you if it's like, "Hey, you guys are a little off tonight."
Yeah, and we've had our share of off nights, and
It's generally me.
It's
No,
That's because you had a bad day.
I had a bad day. I had a bad day.
Ty always has a bad day every time we play for some reason.
Right.
But
It's because it's a Friday and he's tired and he had to go to work all week and
so
it's past his bedtime and
Ty's like, guys, I had a really good day today. Can we skip doing
Can we
this
skip
bad
that
day?
song? No, we got to play it. And you got to sing it.
And you gotta pretend like you had a bad day.
I got a raise today. Work.
But
But it wasn't as much as what I wanted. Dang it! Gosh darn.
and now you got to do 70 hours
Shucks.
next week. Sounds about like most of the companies now. Like, we'll give you a raise, but it's a quarter and we're doing 70s for the next 3 months. Great.
Nice.
So I have no life whatsoever. I need this day off. Well, you can't have it. We're busy. Oh, that's nice. I got other shit to do.
I'm pretty fortunate. I have a job that is very flexible and works well with the band, and I tell you, it's a blessing because Friday shows like this where we have to cut out early off work to be here on time and set up.
Or if you got a Friday show in like Lincoln or
Right.
Yeah.
because all of you guys have extended drives to places.
Yeah. It's hard to get the four of us in the same room. Generally, we're in the same room when we're playing a show.
Well, and that's the other thing. We're spread out across the state, the guys in the band. So I'm in North Platte. Adam and Ty live here, and then Troy's clear on the other side of the state in Chambers, and so trying to get everybody together to rehearse and get the show, rehearsed and ready to go, and then it takes a little coordination and trying to coordinate.
Yeah,
schedules and everything.
we're definitely the sloppiest ones in the band. Adam and Troy are the glue that hold everything together.
Yeah, because when I'm up there, I'm just worried about trying to remember a lyric or something, and I'm like, how does that song go again? Damn, I sang it like 5,000 times and I can't remember the damn lyrics.
That does happen, or you start the song, you're like, we're doing a redo on this one because
Dude, I just, not tonight, but I had that happen here like earlier this year. I got up there and I could not remember the words. And I'm just sitting there acting like there's microphone issues. And then the guy's
Don't tell
like,
them your secrets.
yeah, I shouldn't tell my
Like
secrets.
true.
but that's hilarious.
You know
though.
what? Yeah.
The sound guy's freaking out like, no,
I know,
everything's
and he's cranking, then you start singing, you're like, oh, I remember now. And then you start singing, it's like, boom, loud, he's going, whoa, feedback. But, that's one of my little trade secrets.
Never thought of that. That's a pretty good idea.
Now my problem is when I'm singing and playing the drums at the same time, and there's like a pause, and then there's not really a count in to come back in, and like the lyrics hit at the same time as I'm crashing in. I'm like counting it in my head and everything, and then I hit the crash, and I start playing. I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be singing.
That's the one fun advantage of live music where people get to see those. But yeah, I've seen my fair share of ones and been in my fair share of songs next. Don't you have a piece of paper? No, I don't know where it ran off to.
We joke around, but actually, honestly, we've got great musicians in this band, and like Ty said, Troy and Adam are kind of the anchors because they're so musical, and they kind of keep us all together. But we don't have to rehearse a lot, and we can keep a tight set because all of us do our homework at home.
Oh yeah.
And when we get to rehearsals, and we knock shows out, we never really worry about it because it's usually always there. Rarely do we have an off night.
Well, and like you gotta kind of do your homework with everybody being scattered all over the place because you don't want to waste anybody's time because.
Yep, make the most of the time you have.
I mean, if you're all living in the same town, you get together and you fuck around for 45 minutes to an hour and like, oh yeah, we gotta practice versus like, dude, I drove 2 hours for this. Come on.
Right.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
You guys just had a new single hit on
So
all
Far Down. Yep.
social media.
Yep.
Because I
So
was
Far Down.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs that we've ever recorded.
I tell you, that we recorded with back in February at Michael Beck from Sound Vision Recording out of Phoenix, and then we recorded down in Lincoln. We use the same kind of setup. We always record at Fuse Recording in Lincoln Recording Studio, and then we always use Michael Beck as a producer. And this time we got a little bit heavier than the first album, but a lot of groove. We wanted to keep, again, our motto is dirty, sexy, groovy. So we wanted to have a lot of groove to this, make it a little bit heavier. And I'm really proud of how things turned out.
I actually haven't listened to it yet because I was like, ooh, brand new song. It just got released. Ooh, reaction video. So
There you go.
And that's
I'll send it to you.
I think you did because I've got the notification. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get to that. And then I saw a post that it was out, and I was like, well, guess I'm gonna shoot a reaction video for it. So
Cool.
Do, yeah, because
because I try to keep my reactions as honest as possible. So if I can avoid listening to stuff prior to it, then I'll kind of like if it's, hey, we're gonna release this in 2 months. All right, cool. I'll check it out and I'll get, I'll write like a little review and get people hyped for it. Versus like, hey, it comes out at the end of this week. I haven't got to it, so I'm gonna hold off on listening to it and do the reaction review video so it's more authentic than just like, okay, here's Metallica's The Blackening. I've never heard it before. Or Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. Never heard that one.
I love this part that's coming up that I haven't heard yet, but I know it's probably going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, and what's funny, that single just released today, and we didn't play it tonight, so you didn't get to hear it tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it'd be great. I mean, great reaction.
Oh yeah, by the way, we have a brand new single, and we're not playing it tonight.
Well, I don't want to let too much out. But
No, that's okay.
It's syncopated. It's got these parts in it that are a little bit more complicated than some of the other stuff that we've written. So to get it tight, we need to be all four in the same room and really, jam
Hammer down on it.
Yeah, and so I don't want to roll it out live until we have it down because I don't want to get
You don't want to
song sloppy. Yeah,
disappoint people like, this is our brand new song, and you fuck it up right off the get-go, and you're like...
One thing that we take pride in is that what you hear on the album is how we sound live.
And I can agree to that.
Yeah, and so we don't try to, so when we roll songs out, we want to make sure that we're playing them like the people have heard them. So when they experience it on the album and they experience it live, you're like, oh shit, man, these guys, yeah.
Except for Bad Day. Bad Day doesn't sound like it does.
well,
it's because it's different. You can record the drum track, and then you go back in and do the vocal track and get it.
Well, he sang it on the album, and then I sing it live.
I sing it on the album, and then we were looking for more ways to get Ty singing, and because he was singing all the cover songs, and I'm like, and he was horsing around. I think he was just horsing around singing it at practice one day, and I'm like, shit, man, you sound pretty good on that. Why don't you just sing that song? And it would give me another break in the set, and highlight Ty because again, when
he's being all bashful and blushing right now.
No, he's a great singer, and he doesn't get enough opportunities to step out front, being a drummer, and so we want to give him. I was like, yeah, you take that song, and
I did record that one again.
Did you?
Yeah. I think that's the second time I've gotten it recorded.
Hopefully it sounds better this time.
Well, we shall see. And
I mean the vocals.
Well,
and
sometimes
that's funny because you recorded the version at the Manifesto benefit, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because we had technical difficulties that night, and so we had to play everything a full step down instead of to the tunings that we use naturally on the recordings. And so Adam was having problems with one of his guitars, and we're like, we'll just play everything full step down and we'll make it work. And so, when you're used to singing it in a half step or standard or whatever,
it really makes no difference to me.
He just sings it.
He just bangs on shit.
We're like, what key? Where is he? Ties in this key. Okay, slide down a half step, guys. Another half step. Keep sliding until you find it. There it is. All right, now we're there.
No, I gotta say thank you to you for coming to all these shows and posting all the stuff on. I love watching your videos and everything.
I really appreciate it.
The interview videos and the reaction videos.
There's no rhyme or reason to the interviews. I just kind of go and talk.
You turned me on to so much music, like local scene music, all the way down in Wichita, Kansas. I just watched your reaction video for that.
There's a ton of bands all over the place.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. So
that's huge for bands like us, unsigned bands that you're giving us an opportunity to be heard and
somebody might be able in a different area be able to hear you.
And it's we really appreciate what you guys do and come to all the shows, doing the interviews, taking videos, and you share the videos with us and let us use them for our pages and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
I can't take credit for your guys' music. It's like here we'll tag you in it, here we'll put you on this. Hey, here's links to these guys. Go find them.
And it's great. I mean. And sincerely, thank you.
Because there's a couple bands that I know the only way they have music out is because of the recording. So, and I can usually tell when people have shows coming up because there'll be like a spike in where it's like, okay, I haven't seen any videos from these guys pop up, and suddenly it's like 30. Oh, they must have a show coming up soon, or
we're all guilty of that, I think I shared our single on like 87 different, 79 different groups on Facebook trying to promote. And the funny thing is if you go over 79, if you hit 80, Facebook will shut you down and block you for 2 days, shut you off for 2 days.
Yeah, and then make you change your password.
You got that.
I might be guilty of that, so I had to start like, all right, I'm gonna get a couple.
Spread them out over a few days.
Yeah, or spread them out throughout different ones where it's like, okay, this video I'm gonna post to these 7 or 8 sites, and then the next one I'm gonna find 7 or 8 other different sites and just kind of try to break it up so that it shares it, because then people will get oversaturated and like, oh, this guy posted another video again.
Stuff that like what you're doing, what John Cruz does, by having the bands on his show and different things like that. We've got exposure all over the world. We got like buddies in Australia that keep wanting us to come over and tour Australia, and people contacting us from Europe, and it's incredible how small the world becomes when with the internet and the video and the radio stations and internet stations.
Well, it's
been a blessing.
Limitless. Because the local radio stations will play these 12 same bands every hour versus like the underground ones that are like, okay, we won't play the same song or band for the next 48 hours after they play.
Right. And who would ever thunk that a couple knuckleheads like us would be played, in Australia or in, Asia or wherever, all over the place, Japan.
Oh,
people listening to us in Japan, and I'm going, this is cool shit, man. Am I allowed to cuss?
I don't give a fuck. It's my channel.
All right. Well, I didn't want to celebrate it, but
this isn't like
we have a couple of cuss songs.
This isn't like KZUM or no cussing.
Yeah, we have to watch Ty when we're on air. Like, Ty, calm it down, man, because he goes full sailor. Especially when he's out of feeling.
But I appreciate even becoming friends with you and everything.
Oh yeah,
it's been so
being able
awesome.
to talk to you guys, or
bands that we've been asked to open for and everything. The first place I go to listen to them is I'll go to your YouTube.
See if I've got them yet.
Most of the time, you've seen them already, and you have video up of them.
Well, there's an ongoing joke. I'm like a Pokemon collector. I'm trying to record them all, and there's quite a few that I've got.
Yeah, I was skimming through your videos the other day, when I was talking to you about, getting some of our old videos, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize how many videos you had. You have a shit ton of
live videos, I'm just under 450. Reaction review videos are 120, and interviews I'm at like 35 or 37, something. And that's not with all the other ones that I'm putting together, or the random shit that comes into my head that I just post because I find it funny.
That's cool.
Well, I appreciate the time, guys.
You bet.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.